خب شما بیایید اینجا بشینید، کنار این بشینید، نه اینجا. میخوام وقتی که بهتون میگم next اینو میزنید next. وقتی که میگم next اینو میزنید که سلاید ها چیز اینجا نرید ها، هی برید بیایید یه ساعت و نیم بشینید، از جاتون بلند نشید. یه خورده آب بیارید. نه این خوبه ها، در نمیاد مشخصه یا نه؟ همه کافی. یه خورده آب بیارید. یلا بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Last week we mentioned the a'mal of Medina and what we're going to do in Medina, and we said we have three types of Hajj. Which Hajj we are doing? Hajj al-Tamattu'. And Hajj al-Tamattu' is divided into two groups. Hajj al-Tamattu' divided into two groups. The first one is Umrah al-Tamattu' and the second is Hajj al-Tamattu'. So now we are in Medina. We spend about 5 nights or 4 nights in Medina, inshallah. So we're going to visit, inshallah, the shrine of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You're going to see some slides here shortly, inshallah. Masjid al-Nabi and Maqbarat al-Baqi' and many other historical places. And Medina is necessary to go to Medina to prepare yourself for the Hajj, to prepare yourself psychologically for the Hajj. Remember, we are coming from a different continent, different time zone. The difference is 10 hours in time zone. So you need to settle for a few days to prepare yourself for some vigorous activities. So in Medina, staying in Medina gives you this opportunity to prepare yourself for the Umrah and the Hajj. Umrah begins, my sisters, تبدأ العمرة بغسل الإحرام ثم نية الإحرام. The Umrah begins with the shower that we take, the shower of Ihram. And you see the Niyyah here in this booklet with you. Very simple. Very simple. You say, when you go into the shower, you say, I am doing Ghuslul Ihram. Ihram for what? Huh? For Umrah al-Tamattu'. Not Hajj al-Tamattu'. It's not Hajj yet. We are still in the Umrah. And then the shower consists of 3 parts, the head and the neck, the right side and the left side. And then you put on the Ihram. Men and women are going to put on the Ihram. And you saw the Ihram, the men's Ihram last week. You're going to see women's Ihram probably today. Today we have a sample of women's Ihram. You're going to see it. Last week we saw men's Ihram. And after that we board the bus. We go to Masjid al-Shajara. Remember this name, Masjid al-Shajara. Masjid al-Shajara, it used to be small masjid, I remember back in the 70s. Very small masjid, dark, you know. Now it is a huge masjid, beautiful. You see palm trees all around the masjid with huge parking lots. So we go inside Masjid al-Shajara. Usually we reach there before Maghrib and Isha prayers. So we will do Maghrib and Isha and we will begin the Ihram. The Ihram has a Niyyah. The first thing in the Ihram is Niyyatul Ihram. Number 1, remember, Niyyah. Niyyah is the first thing we do. And the Niyyah, you find it in your booklet. Behna, I need this. You find it in your booklet. Niyyatul Ihram. You find it in the booklet and you say, أحرم لي عمرة التمتع, not Hajj التمتع. قربة إلى الله تعالى. أحرم لعمرة التمتع قربة إلى الله تعالى. This is the niyyah of the ihram. Immediately after the niyyah, what should we say after the niyyah? Immediately, without any separation, immediately after that, لبيك اللهم لبيك. I want you to rehearse it now with me. I would say it slowly, and this is required only once. But it is mustahab to keep saying it until we reach Mecca, until we see the homes of Mecca, then we stop. So please say after me, لبيك اللهم لبيك. I would say it again. Say it the way I say it, please. لبيك اللهم لبيك. لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك. إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك. This is the beginning of it. This is the talbiyah, and you find it in your booklet with the translation. What page you find it? Ahsant. You find it in page number 6 with the translation and the transliteration. If you don't read Arabic, carry this book with you so you can read the transliteration. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Here I am, Lord, at your service. Labbaik, it means you called me and I am here. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Again, I am here and there is no partner for you. There is no associate for you. Inna alhamda, all the praise. Wan ni'mata, the bounty. Inna alhamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika laka labbaik. I want you to turn this off. This here. Yes. This one, only this one. Inna alhamda, all the praise. This is Medina. I want you to, let's go to the beginning now and I will explain that. Let's go to the beginning, the first slide. Yes. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk. All the praise and the bounties belongs to you. And the kingdom belongs to you. The kingdom also. It means I am here penniless. Everything I own belongs to you. Everything I wear, which I wear nothing. At the time of ihram, you are not carrying wallet with you. You are not carrying money. You are not carrying jewelry. You are not carrying, bonds and, all what you carry with you is worth $10 American. Your ihram. Your entire ihram, your entire belonging is $10 American. And there is a reason for that. Allah does not want us to put on jewelry and suits. He wants us to go to our original status and condition. One of the meanings of ihram, my sisters and my brothers, is that we're going to leave this dunya only with this dress, simple dress, kafan. Ihram resembles kafan. Kafan has the 3 pieces, and ihram has 2 pieces. We're going to leave this dunya, leave everything, all the properties, the lands, the ranches, the skyscrapers, everything we own, the cash that is found and not found in the bank, we're going to leave it behind and go empty-handed. It's a training for our last departure. Hajj, one of the philosophies of Hajj is that we are being trained and prepared for our last departure. I have to remind myself, I cannot live my entire life in obsession with the dunya and under the illusion that I have everything and everything is going to be for me. No, one day they would separate me from that. One day I have to leave every single thing I collected behind me. Maybe sometimes for some people who don't even recognize me after my death and maybe not even remember me after my death. So Hajj, my friends, it's a wake-up call for us. Wake-up call. Not just, this is why Allah wants to do the Hajj in Mecca, not in Orange County. This is why He wants us to travel there, to wear the ihram, to move from one place into other, because in every gesture, in every movement, in every section, there is a lesson. spiritual lesson. So when you wear the ihram, you feel that you are light. You don't own anything. And this is the state that it's going to take us to our Lord. This is our final state. They carry us with the kafan. So we say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, then we go to the bus, and the journey, Medina, my friends, is in the north. Medina is here. This is Medina. And Mecca is in the south. So we're going to travel from north to south, a journey of about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, maybe 7 hours, depending on the traffic. Because this highway is very busy during the Hajj season. So we're going to travel. It's exactly 400 kilometers, not miles, 400 kilometers. From the time we leave Masjid al-Shajara, you will see the sign. It says Mecca, 402 kilometers. Then inshallah we're going to arrive in Mecca al-Mukarramah, and I think we have 2 groups. One group is going to go to the hotel which is near Masjid al-Haram. Second group is going to go to another hotel which is not next to Masjid al-Haram. And then from there, when you go to your hotel, number one, when you check in and they give you the keys to your room, put your money and your valuables in the room, in the safe box, in Medina and Mecca. Don't take them with you anywhere. If you carry some money with you, leave it in the hotel. The safest place is the hotel, is the safe box of the hotel. And do your wudu if you want to use the bathroom, and wudu, remember you have to do wudu. And then we're going to go together. We're going to go to the lobby, and from the lobby we're going to go to do the a'mal of what? What a'mal? Umrah. Umrah al-Tamattu. A'mal of Umrah al-Tamattu are 5. 5 items of Umrah al-Tamattu. Number 1 is Tawaf. The first thing we're going to do after Niyyah and after Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, we're going to do Tawaf. Tawaf, 7 rounds. 7 rounds around the Kaaba. We're going to see the Kaaba shortly, inshallah. We're going to see the picture of the Kaaba. So this is the first thing we do, Tawaf. And the Tawaf begins from Al-Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone. Some of us are going to see it. Some of us are not going to see it because it is crowded. So from there we begin the first round. We begin from Hajar al-Aswad and we end at the Hajar al-Aswad. The beginning and the ending of each round is with the black stone. But not very close to the black stone. Maybe 10 meters, maybe 20 meters, maybe 30 meters, depending on the traffic there. And I will explain more on Tawaf, inshallah. Ahkam al-Tawaf. It has some rules and regulations. So we do 7 rounds, 7 full rounds. Once we finish the Tawaf, after the Tawaf, we're going to do the prayers of the Tawaf. Each Tawaf, my friends, each single Tawaf, whether it is wajib or mustahab, requires what? After the Tawaf? 2 rak'ah. Just like the morning prayers. Each Tawaf. There is no Tawaf without the prayers. No Tawaf without the prayers. Each time, whether you do it for Umrah or Hajj, or if you want to do it for your father and your mother, okay, you have to do 2 rak'ah of Tawaf. Tawaf is complemented by 2 units of prayers. Now the difference between wajib and mustahab is that in the wajib Tawaf, you have to do the prayers behind the station of Ibrahim, Maqam Ibrahim. While if you do the mustahab Tawaf, you don't have to be behind Maqam Ibrahim. You can do the Tawaf anywhere in Masjid al-Haram, any corner. You don't have to stand behind Maqam Ibrahim. And when we say behind, my friends, it's not exactly behind, because you're going to see people are doing Tawaf, so they push you back, they keep pushing. So find a place where people are not doing the Tawaf. We should not obstruct the the movement of those who are doing the tawaf. We should stay somewhere where we are not going to be in the middle of the tawaf. Okay? Away from them. My friends, I want you, those of you who have problem with the pronunciation of the Surah Al-Hamd and Surah Al-Tawheed, I want you to rehearse here before you leave. Listen to the Imam when he reads. Listen to the Imam when he reads loud. Listen to his pronunciation. The way he does Hamd and Surah. Listen to him and try to learn the same thing, same pronunciation. We have to correct our salat. We have to correct our wudu. I am going to go over wudu and salat inshallah at the end. Remind me how to do wudu and how to do the pronunciation and the salat. So we finish with Salatul Tawaf, 2 rak'ah, and then immediately after that, where do we go? Sa'i. Sa'i between where? Between Safa and Marwa. Safa and Marwa used to be mountains. I remember when we were kids, we went to Hajj. They were 2 big mountains. I remember them very well. But now you go there, you don't see any mountains. They were removed, remodeled. You know, they are remodeling Hajj, like Disneyland. Every time you go, there is a new ride. Either they cancel one ride or they add. Hajj is, you know. So, don't look for the mountains. Safa, there are a few rocks there. The residue of what is left from the mountain. Marwa, nothing. Nothing. You can't even find anything. Little bit of small rocks on the floor. But this is the original place between Safa and Marwa. So we will do the tawaf. Beginning from where? Safa. And ending where? In Marwa. How many rounds? 7 rounds. So we begin from Safa to Marwa. This is 1 round, which is 400 meters. And then coming back from Marwa to Safa, 2nd round. Then from Safa to Marwa, then from Marwa to Safa, then from Safa to Marwa, then Marwa to Safa, and then the last one, Safa to Marwa. 7 rounds. Some of you who cannot walk, you can get a wheelchair. Some of you, my friends, if you cannot walk, then you can hire a wheelchair and someone would push you. Express, mashallah, like, on the freeway. And you get there sooner than us. Alhamdulillah, yeah. So you finish with Marwa. We finish all of us at Marwa. What is next after Sa'i? What do we do after Sa'i? Huh? Taqsir. Taqsir. Taqsir meaning what? Cutting the hair. We don't shave in Umrah. We cut the hair. Men they cut and women they cut their hair. But not too much hair, just a little bit. Symbolic cutting. Symbolic cutting. From your hair, if you don't have, then you have beard inshallah. If not beard, you have mustache. If not mustache, then some of your nails. Clip your nails. If no nails, no hair, no beard, no mustache, no nails, then you put the blade over your head, but don't scratch it, just, pass it over your head. Symbolic taqsir. Symbolic. What can you do? No hair. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. But don't shave. Many people in the past, I have seen them in the Hajj, they were instructed wrongly. Sometimes by their religious guide who comes to Hajj for the first time. And he told them to shave. You should never shave in Umrah. Umrah, just cutting the hair. Those who are going for the Hajj for the first time, they may shave. In Hajj, in Mina, not now. Not while we are still in Mecca. In Mina, the second journey. So once we do Taqsir, my friends, the Umrah is over. And the estimated time from the beginning of Tawaf, when we begin the Tawaf, to the end of the Taqsir, the estimated time is 2 hours. It will take 2 hours. Maybe sometimes 15 minutes, 20 minutes longer because of the crowd. Maybe because of the crowd. Usually we try to do that after Salat al-Fajr, not before. So imagine we are leaving Masjid al-Shajara at what time? roughly 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. Okay? We are leaving Masjid al-Shajar, let's say at 8 p.m. Salatul Fajr in Mecca is at 5 around 5 a.m. or 5:30 maybe, 5:40. So we're going to spend this time in the bus, and then we go to the hotel, we refresh ourselves, and then we try to come and do the morning prayers in Masjid al-Haram. So as soon as the morning prayers is done, we begin the Tawaf. We begin the Tawaf and the prayers of the Tawaf and Sa'i and Taqsir, inshallah. And it would take about 2 hours. So maybe if we begin by 6 a.m., we would finish by 8, inshallah. 8:30 maximum we finish. And then you can go home. Umrah is over. Going home, it means you can go back to your normal dress. No need to wear the ihram. And this period is going to be about a week from the time we arrive in Mecca on the 2nd day of Dhul Hijjah until the time we leave Mecca to where? To Arafat for the Hajj. The second part of the Hajj. The first part is Umrah. The second part is Hajj. That would be on the 8th. So from the 2nd till the 8th is how many days? 6 days. So in these 6 days, we have to wait between Umrah and Hajj. You do nothing. But when you come to Masjid al-Haram, you can do Tawaf, Mustahab Tawaf. Again, 7 rounds with 2 rak'ah. For people, for your parents, for your friends, for your cousins. Okay? You can do Tawaf for 1 person and Tawaf for 20 people. In the Niyyah, you can say this Tawaf is for my father and mother and grandfather and grandmother and fulan and count their names. Qurbatan illahi ta'ala. Or you can do it for 1 person. And those people could be all dead or all alive or mixed. Mixed, hybrid, you know. Some are dead and some are alive. Yes, sister. No, there is no mustahab sa'i. There is no, don't waste your time going, no mustahab sa'i, no recommended sa'i. Sa'i is only wajib, and we do it during Umrah, and also we're going to do it during Hajj. I'm going to explain that later. The Tawaf is only mustahab. So when you do Tawaf, you do 2 rak'ah after that. No sa'i. No sa'i. Because I've seen people, they go after the Tawaf and the prayers, they come and they give me breaking news. Sayyid, we did sa'i. I say, inshallah. You know. Yeah. Yes. No. We have to do sa'i either the ground floor or the underground floor. But not the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th. Yes. Yes. No, not for each round. For each complete Tawaf. 7 rounds. 7 rounds, there is 2 rak'ah. Once you finish. Now my friends, remember some of the rules of Tawaf. Remember them, please. Remember them and write them down. Because this is a common mistake done by lots of Hujjaj. When we do the Tawaf, you should not touch the Kaaba. Neither you should touch Hijr Ismail. Can you go the slides one by one now? No. No. Press this button here. Yeah, see, this is Medina, Masjid al-Nabi. Next, please. This is part of Masjid al-Nabi where you're going to. This is Babul Fath, one of the main gates. But you cannot go here. You can leave from here. The shrine of the Prophet is from here. Next. This is Qabr al-Nabi. This is actually the grave of the Prophet, and the picture was taken a long time ago. Next. Yeah, this is women's Babu Ali, the gate of Ali. And women usually use this gate. Next. Another gate. Next. This is Baqi'. This is the cemetery of Baqi', where we go from Masjid al-Nabi. Men are allowed to go inside, but women are outside. They cannot go inside. Next, please. Okay. Next, we will come to this. Next. Next. This is Masjid. Go back to the. This is Masjid al-Shajara. See, beautiful masjid, beautiful minaret, and the palm trees. So this is after they did their niyyah, and we were about to go to board the buses to go to Mecca. And this is the bus on the right side. You can see it. Next. Now, show me the Kaaba. Go to the slides that shows the Kaaba. Yeah, this is Masjid al-Haram. Next, please. Next. This is the entrance of Masjid. Usually we use this gate number 1. Usually there are many gates to Masjid al-Haram. We use this one, the biggest one, which is gate number 1. Next. See, my friends, this is a diagram of the Kaaba. This is Maqam Ibrahim. This is Hijr Ismail, the wall. Go next, show me something more clear. Next. This is Maqam Ibrahim. We have to pray behind this station. Do you see the golden dome? This is Maqam Ibrahim. Next. This is Maqam Ibrahim. Next. Hijr Ismail. I need to see a clear picture of Hijr Ismail. Next. This is Safa and Marwa. It's 450 meters each round. It's 450 meters actually. Almost half a kilometer. This is a picture of the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. This is between Safa and Marwa. Next. Okay. My friends, when we do the tawaf, I want you to look at me now. When we do the tawaf, please don't touch the Kaaba. And don't touch Hijr Ismail. Hijr Ismail, there is a half circle wall up to here, half circle wall around the Kaaba. Hijr Ismail, where Prophet Ismail is buried there, and his mother Hajar, and many prophets are buried there. Don't touch this. Don't touch it physically. When you do the tawaf, touch nothing. If you are holding your wife, hold your wife. If not, don't touch anything. Don't touch any wall. You may do that after you finish the tawaf. After you finish the tawaf, if you want to go and touch the Kaaba or the cloth of the Kaaba, Sitarul Kaaba, the cloth, it's okay, but not during the tawaf. Don't touch Maqam Ibrahim, because sometimes this is the Kaaba on your left, Maqam Ibrahim is on your right, and you're doing the tawaf between them. Don't touch Maqam Ibrahim, neither the Kaaba nor Hijr Ismail. Don't touch them. And always make sure that this shoulder, the left shoulder, when you do the tawaf, is parallel to the Kaaba itself. Does not go, don't do this, don't do tawaf this way, because your shoulder is not, this is the Kaaba. Your shoulder is going to be towards Paris, you know. And don't do this way, tawaf. This way. This is the way we have to do. So the left shoulder, if you draw a point, if you draw a line, it goes to the Kaaba. Always when you do the tawaf, make sure that this is parallel to the Kaaba, the left shoulder. Now, tawaf is crowded, very crowded. Very, very, very crowded. But you're going to do that. It is easy. Don't worry about it. Allah will give you a special energy. You don't have to drink these energy drinks. No need. Allah is going to give you really special energy to do the tawaf and the sa'i and all these things. You will find yourself sometimes in Hajj you do things that it is impossible for you to do at home here. Really impossible. And you're going to be amazed of yourself. Where did I bring all this energy, this power, this strength? This is a gift from Allah, because He invited you to come. Definitely He is going to enable you to perform the Hajj. So don't worry. I don't want you to be fearful of Hajj. Hajj is a pleasant journey. Don't be fearful of anything. Everything is going to be done properly, inshallah. Don't worry. But I have to also to be realistic and tell you the truth. Tawaf is very crowded. Maybe at any given moment, maybe you would find 250, 300,000 people are doing the tawaf at any given moment. 24 hours. There is no break. No break. Whatever time you come, you find it crowded. Anytime. 1 a.m., 5 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m. Anytime it's going to be crowded. So when we do the tawaf, we're going to break into smaller groups. Because if we go into a group of 50, at the end of tawaf, you're going to end up by yourself. Those 50 are going to be dispersed from one another. So the smaller the group, the better you can maintain the togetherness. Because tawaf is like a tsunami of waves of humans. So you have to stay together with 3 or 4 or maximum 10 people. The smaller the group is, the better you can maintain it. So we're going to break into groups, inshallah. Okay? And each group would have a leader. So you follow that leader, and they're going to count. We have to count together, and we read a dua. Every round it has a dua in this booklet. Every round. It has specific dua. So we don't get lost. Tawaf requires wudu, my friends. Remember, sisters and brothers, don't forget this. For the tawaf, you need to do the wudu at the hotel. Don't leave your wudu when you are entering the masjid, because there is no water there. If you want to do wudu after you leave the hotel, it will cost you 1 hour. Because you have to go to the bathroom, and it is crowded, and then the group are not going to wait for you. So we do the wudu in the hotel. And maintain your wudu. Keep it. Don't lose your wudu. Until we finish the tawaf and the prayers. Now, if after the prayers you want to lose the wudu, okay, it's okay. For sa'i, wudu is not required. It is mustahab but not wajib. Are you with me? The difference between tawaf and sa'i. For tawaf, wudu is mandatory. For the tawaf and the prayers of tawaf. But for sa'i, it is mustahab. Recommended if you have wudu. But if you can't keep your wudu, let it go. So you can do the sa'i and the taqsir with no wudu. Okay? Now, if you lose your wudu in the middle of tawaf, people are crushing you, okay? And some men and women, they come and in the middle of tawaf, they tell me, Sayyid, I lost my wudu. And sometimes when we finish, we are going to sa'i, and sometimes we finish the whole umrah, and then they come, Sayyid, I need to talk to you. Please, bismillah. He says, Sayyid, I lost my wudu in the second round. I said, why didn't you tell me? Now, my friends, remember, if you lose your wudu, don't worry. Just tell someone in the group, I lost my wudu. Leave the tawaf, go and do your wudu, and come back again to begin the tawaf from the beginning. Now, this is an important point. If you have finished 4 rounds, 4 complete rounds, let's say you finished 4 rounds, and you are into the 5th one, number 5. You just started number 5, and you lost your wudu. Or you got wounded, injured, and you started bleeding, let's say. If you bleed, you have to stop your tawaf, because the blood is najis, and you cannot do, just like the prayers. In the prayers, if you get bleeding, you have to stop the prayers and clean yourself and come back. If you are into the 5th round, you must stop, go and do your wudu again, clean your ihram. Let's say there is urine or blood or whatever on it, clean it, come back and resume, not from the beginning, from where you stopped. Are you with me? From where you stopped. You have to remember where you stopped. So you continue until you finish. But if you have not finished the 4th round, let's say you were into the 2nd or the 3rd or the 3rd and a half or the 3rd 3.99, just before reaching Hajar al-Aswad, on the 4th round you lost your wudu, or you started bleeding, let's say your foot. Here you have to clean yourself, have another wudu, and where do you begin? From beginning. So this is the rules. Round number 4. If you have done 4 rounds, then if you want to exit for any emergency, let's say emergency, you are tired, then you can come back and finish from where you stopped. But if you have not finished the fourth, you have to begin from beginning. Now, sometimes you don't lose your wudu. You don't bleed. You are not injured. But you are out of breath and you are going to collapse. God forbids. Inshallah, this does not happen to you. But, for a reason. Anxiety attack. And don't think about an anxiety attack. There is no anxiety attack in Hajj. Leave everything in Orange County. Here. Inshallah, you're going to go healthy and you come back healthy. No anxiety attack. When you visit Allah, you are very strong, very energetic, and very happy. So no anxiety attack. But suppose some people, they have some illusions. Then you may leave the tawaf. Even if you begin the tawaf, you can stop it at any time. You can stop it. But if you stop it before the end of the fourth round, you have to begin. When you come back, you begin from zero. If you stop it after finishing the fourth round, where do you begin? From where you stopped. Remember these rulings. The other thing in Tawaf, my friends, when you move around the Kaaba, you have to move with your own strength and force. You cannot be carried by someone. I remember when I was a kid, 5 years old, when I went to Hajj, somebody carried me on his shoulder. And he did the tawaf. Because I was 5. But now, when we do the wajib tawaf, nobody can carry us. If you walk, you have to walk yourself. Are you with me? Are you with me on this point, inshallah? So if they carried you, they have to go back and then walk with your own feet during the tawaf. You cannot be airborne in the tawaf. Yes.
I heard that the crowd will take you anywhere.
The crowd, sometimes they take you, of course, left and right. It's not going to be a very organized movement. It's not like that. You're going to be pushed left and right, and sometimes they push you back, and sometimes everything is going to happen. Very enjoyable ride. But do what we do. You have to be strong, and if you are with the group, not by yourself, then you have a stronger push, You're going to move with them, inshallah. Yes?
Can you do that, any of those floors, including the balcony?
No, you have to do it from the ground floor. From the ground floor. And you can do that. You have to do it from the ground floor. Yes? Number 7 has a meaning in the Quran. The 7 heavens, the 7 layers of earth, رب السماوات السبع ورب الأراضين السبع. It has some significance, spiritual significance. So after we do, inshallah, the prayers of the tawaf, we do the sa'i, taqsir, and then remember, in Medina you have to buy some small scissor with you. So you don't look for scissor for a long time. As soon as you're done, you reach Marwa, we do the taqsir. And you cannot cut people's hair before cutting your own hair. So if someone asks you, tell him, let me do my hair first, and then I will, cut your own hair. You have to do yourself. Okay, yes. Where? In the sa'i or the tawaf? In the tawaf, you might use wheelchair. But it has to be from the ground floor. Ground floor.
They don't allow them.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. So either you have to do your best to do the tawaf, and if tawaf is difficult for you, don't go into the middle of the crowd. Do the tawaf from the outside. It's much more easier from the. It would be a longer round. It will take you longer, but it is much easier than going in the middle of the crowd. Yes.
If they didn't allow them to do it on the first floor,
Yeah.
how would they do that?
In this case, you have to do it on wheelchair in the second floor, and at the same time, someone has to represent you in doing the tawaf from the ground floor. So 2 things. One, yourself on wheelchair upstairs. Second, someone on your behalf, niyaba, in the ground floor. Now look at I want you to go back to muharramat al-ihram, things that are forbidden in ihram. Yes. No. Just the ruling that applies to the prayers also applies to the tawaf. No, but the ihram has to be clean. Sa'i does not require wudu, but it requires that your ihram and your body to be clean. There is difference between them. Yes. Now, my brothers and my sisters, remember these muharramatul ihram, things that are forbidden. And I'm going to say for men and women, some of them for only men, some of them are only for women. Looking into the mirror, when you wear the ihram and you say the niyyah, you should not look into the mirror for a beautification reason, to look at yourself whether you are handsome or forget about being handsome. Forget about being handsome. So maybe a driver can look into his mirror because he wants to check on, other vehicles, but not to beautify yourself. This is for men and women. Second, for men wearing sewn clothes. Therefore, the dress, our ihram is going to be simple. It is not sewn. It's not like this, It's not sewn. So we don't wear sewn clothes. And socks, we don't wear socks. Men are not going to wear socks. And I showed you that we wear the slipper. And I showed you an example of it last week. And then they don't wear closed shoes. Men do not wear closed shoes. Women, number three, this is your answering what you asked me earlier. You should not seek sheltering from the sun or the rain. So no umbrella, no hat, nothing to cover your head and your body. So you cannot carry neither an umbrella that covers the whole body, neither a turban or a kufi or a hat. You cannot do that. For men. Women, they can cover, of course. Women, you can carry umbrella with you. And you have your scarf, of course. This is the best covering. Number 4, women, they cannot wear gloves. Don't wear gloves. And you cannot cover your face too. Why women cannot cover their face? It's forbidden. There is a point there. Can anyone help me? Huh? No, nothing about recognition. In pre-Islamic era, those rich women in Mecca, they used to cover their face, which was a sign of being rich, being aristocratic, being from the elite of the society. They wanted to separate themselves from the rest of the society. One of the ways of separating themselves, they would cover their face as a sign of arrogance, not a humility. Not a sign of piety, we fear Allah. No, nothing about that. Sign of arrogance. So they would cover their face. So people will say, this is a rich lady, look at her. So Islam came and changed this. He said in Hajj, women don't cover their face. He wanted to abrogate this bad habit. In Hajj, whether you are rich or poor, you are equal here. We should not distinguish between who's who. And one of the beauties of Hajj, which only exists in Islam and it does not exist in any other religion, is Hajj, where you can find people are equal. Maybe they are not equal in the residence, in the hotels. There is a difference in the hotels. But they are equal in Arafat, in Mina, in Jamarat, in Tawaf. Tawaf, there is no first class, path and second class and economy and whatever. The rich and the poor are together. They wear together, they do together, they move together. So women do not wear gloves and do not cover their face Number 5, this point, my wife is going to explain that to the sisters, inshallah. Women, during their menstrual cycle, they should not come inside Masjid al-Haram. So they have a solution. What should they do? How they do tawaf? There is a solution for that. So for sisters, you're going to explain that to them, inshallah. Number 5. Number 6, this is for men and women. No use of scent or perfume. Any perfume. French, American, Indian, Arab, old, new. No perfume, no scent. And you should not apply the oil unless there is a medical reason. Unless you have a rash and you have to use it for medical reason. Otherwise, no oil used for men and women. Sorry, sisters, I know this is difficult for some of you, but sorry, this is not me. This is Islam. I know it is difficult not to use oil, but this is, yes.
Sunscreen with oil?
Huh?
You can use sunscreen?
No sunscreen, no. Forget about sunscreen. See, my friends, let me tell you something about Hajj. Really, you have to understand this Hajj. Sisters, listen to this, very important. My friends, I said last week, Hajj is different from any other trip. Really, it is different. And you are not doing it for a vacation, for your wife, for yourself. You are doing it for Allah. It's an invitation. Hajj is a divestment from this dunya. Detachment from this dunya. Anything that is supposed to make you more attractive, more beautiful, more handsome, more important, more influential, forget about them. Forget about these cosmetics that we create for ourselves. Allah loves you to go to Him with your natural state. Natural state. Don't add anything to it. Because Allah knows us. He knows us since we were not born, and He's going to know us even after we are buried. He sees us all the time. Allah screening us 24 hours a day. When we are naked, He can see us. When we are clothed, He can see us in a private, in public, in dark and light. So in Hajj, forget about relaxation. Forget about I want to look handsome and beautiful and attractive and this. Forget about that. Go back to your earthly nature. This is why these things are forbidden. No perfume. Allah says, I want you to come with your natural scent. It's good for me. I love it. It's like a mother. See, a mother, if a mother, her baby does not wear perfume, she would say, I can't stand you. No, she stands him. Maybe she cannot stand another baby, another boy, another girl. But with her own son and daughter, they stand them in any case. They love them in any case. This is how is our relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hajj is not an opportunity for us to be materialistic. Forget about dunya, forget about zina, ornaments and attractions. So no perfume, no oil, especially for sisters. I know some of them are, used to, putting, mashallah, oils day and night. Since they open their eyes, oil. Everything is oil. It's, I know, difficult for them because they come and argue in Hajj. Why can I do this? For 3 weeks, 2 weeks, actually 1 week during the Ihram. Maybe before and after you may. Only the period of the Ihram. Then, where are we? 7 is very important, my friends. See, the others are artificial. But this one is spiritual. This one is the essence of Hajj. This one is the real Hajj. Staying away, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. Allah says, stay away from these 3. فَلَا رَفَث فَلَا رَفَث وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. No lying. Lying is always bad, but it is double bad. It's a double crime during Hajj. You are going to Allah's house where we're supposed to be honest and good and open our hearts with Him. So He does not expect us to lie in this journey. We are going to say, I'm sorry, I'm coming back to you, I've done lots of bad things. I am not supposed to lie anymore in this. If I lie, I'm going to destroy my Hajj. I'm going to lose my money, waste my time. It really defeats the purpose. I'm trying to tell him, listen, I put everything behind me. I want to open a new page with you. So, and when I do this, I still want to insist on lying. This is not good. So, no lying. No quarreling. Many of us, unfortunately, we quarrel. Many of us, we want to speak more than listening to others. Many of us, we'd like to prove that we are right and others are wrong. In Hajj, we have to change this. Hajj is a journey of slavery to Allah. So we should really change ourselves. No quarreling. Not only quarreling, my friends. Things that are extra, we should not say them. Unless something important. We say things that are important, period. And then we shut them out. The more we speak, the more we make mistakes. The more we are at risk. Mouth is very dangerous. The tongue is very dangerous. Sometimes we commit sins and we don't realize this is a sin. This is a gross violation of people's reputation, people's honor, people's life, Allah's rights. So the less we speak during Hajj, the better, believe me. I wish they would add here, the fuqaha, ulama, that we use duct tape on our mouth. Wallah, I would be the first one to do that. Duct tape, just put there, khalas. Rather than quarreling and lying and, arguing, tasbih, subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, or astaghfirullah, rabbi wa tubu ilayh, or la ilaha illallah. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, whoever says la ilaha illallah, they plant a tree for him in paradise. Angels are there planting a tree for him with each la ilaha illallah. So one of the companions, he was excited. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I have a plenty of palm trees in paradise. The Prophet said, yes, but illa an ta'tu alayha binarin fatuhriquha. I know you say plenty of la ilaha illallah, but sometimes you send a fire on them and you burn them. What is the fire? When we lie, it's going to burn all these things. When we backbite, when we slander, when we badmouth, then this is a fire that is going to burn all these trees in paradise. So no quarreling. And again, no taking oath in Hajj, especially sisters, khanumha, akhawati. Remember this. Quit saying la wallah, yes, bala wallah, la wallah. Don't use Allah frequently on your mouth to take an oath to prove that you are right. Usually when we speak in our conversation, the Iranians, what they say? Bukhuda. Bukhuda kardam, bukhuda nakardam, bukhuda khordam, bukhuda nakhordam, khabidam. And the Arabs also say, Wallah, 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 yeah, Wallah is hot today, Wallah is cold, Wallah is beautiful, Wallah is ugly. We should stop saying this. No qasam, no oath. And this is a verse in Surah Al-Baqarah. وَلَا تَجْعَلُوا اللَّهَ عُرْضَةً لِأَيْمَانِكُمْ. Do not cheapen God when you speak, and when you want to prove yourself, you bring His name in the middle. Don't do that. If you want to mention Him in a good way. Sanctify Him. Do tasbih. Do dhikr. Do not cheapen Him. So no quarreling. Don't quarrel with the one who's sitting next to you. Hajj. Sometimes we have to wait for 2 hours. Sometimes the driver is not experienced. In the Hajj they bring drivers from countries who is driving in Saudi Arabia for the very first time. Sometimes he doesn't know the way. You have to teach him. Someone has to sit next to him and tell him, go left, go right. Some of them, they don't read the signs. So some people get frustrated with them. and they start quarreling. Don't quarrel with anyone in Hajj, with anyone, so you can enjoy this journey. If we lie, if we quarrel, we are not going to enjoy the journey. We are not going to enjoy the taste of Hajj. Hajj is very tasteful, provided that we have self-control. Killing of anything should not be killed. No human, no animals, including insects. If you find a bug, don't do mal'oon. Don't say this. Don't kill anything. Hajj is a peaceful journey for everything. Do not harass animals. Don't harass a dog or a cat. Don't harass them. Leave them alone. Because we're going to enter the Haram, my friends. A Haram. Can I have an eraser? The Haram. See, we have Mecca, and I have to explain this to you. We have the city of Mecca. Can you do me a favor and erase this, please? See, my friends, we have Masjid al-Haram, okay? And we have the city of Mecca, and we have the Haram, the sanctuary. See, my friends, push it to this side, you know. We have, this is Mecca, okay? This is Mecca here. Inside Mecca is Masjid al-Haram. So imagine this is Masjid al-Haram. This is the city of Mecca. And what surrounds Mecca is a huge desert. Huge desert. Sometimes stretches 10 miles, sometimes 200 miles. Called Haram. Haram. Haram means sanctuary. The desert that surrounds Mecca is sacred. Not only Masjid al-Haram, not only the city of Mecca, but the entire desert that surrounds Mecca is called Haram. So once we enter this Haram, we have to observe two things. Always, whether we wear Ihram or we wear this ordinary clothes. Two things have to be observed all the time, the whole year, 365 days. No hunting. No hunting. You don't hunt in this vicinity. Forbidden. Not only no hunting, no killing of anything. No killing of humans, no killing of animals, no killing of insects. So this is one rule. Because everything, Allah says, وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. When they enter this vicinity, they are in peace. Nobody can chase them and harass them and kill them and injure them. وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. So you have to be in peace, and everything, the environment has to be in peace. Leave them alone. This is one. The second ruling is that you do not extract the plant or the trees of the Haram. You cannot cut any tree. You cannot come to a branch and you cut the branch. You cannot extract any tree, whether big or small, in this area. Haram. This is forbidden. This is forbidden when we are in Ihram, and also when we are what? Outside the Ihram. This is forbidden where we are doing Hajj or Umrah or just passing through the Haram. Although when you enter the Haram you must do Umrah, by the way, you must do the Umrah. So this is forbidden for all people. So no killing of insects and any animals, because you are in a very holy and sacred land. And the mission of Islam is not killing. It's not. Mission of Islam is not what you are seeing nowadays in some streets in the Middle East. Killing each other because of a silly movie. How many lives were lost? Over 50 lives were lost over the past week. This is not the mission of Islam. This is not the manners of Islam. This is not the message of Islam. So, of course, unless to protect yourself, you may ask me, Sayyid, if I am sitting there and a lion attacks me, should I say, yeah, welcome, eat me? Yeah. No. Of course, you have to defend yourself. You know, there is exception for every rule. But there is no lion, inshallah. Don't worry. No tigers, no lions, and no crocodiles. Number 8, my friends, cutting or plucking or shaving the hair body, except at the time of what? At the time of Taqsir. At the time of Taqsir, Taqsir is a gesture. Why do we cut the hair? Why? It's a gesture that we are exiting the state of Ihram. Because when I begin the Niyyah and Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, I am entering into a very sacred status, surrounding myself with a sacred environment. Now, how do I exit from that? By exemplifies, the exit is exemplified in cutting some of your hair. Only at that time you make. But other than that, when you are in the state of Ihram, you cannot pluck the hair if you don't like it. Neither your mustache or your beard, nor any part of the body. However, my friends, men and women, before you go to Hajj, before you begin the Umrah, when you are in Medina, try to get rid of the unwanted hair. For men and women, mustahab, unwanted hair, pubic hair, underarm hair, just shave it and get rid of it. And no cutting or clipping the nails, unless at the time of what? Again, taqsir, but not before that time. Then, number 9, pulling or cutting the leaves of trees or the grass of the Haram. And we said the Haram is the whole desert around Mecca, not only in Mecca, the city of Mecca. When we enter, you will see the Haram now, inshallah. When we leave Medina, there is a sign that says the beginning of the Haram. So that desert is a holy desert, even before we reach Mecca. And then wearing arms. Don't carry arms. Don't take your gun with you to Hajj. You don't need it, inshallah. Yeah, leave it at home. No weapons, especially weapons of mass destruction. Number 11, no marriage. Forget about marriage and intimacy in Hajj. Even with your wife, whether she's your wife or stranger, haram all the time. But even if you are with your wife, forget about intimacy during the state of Ihram. During the state of Ihram. Forget all types. No aqd, no nikah. Forbidden during the state of Ihram, I am saying. Not before or after. During the state of Ihram, you don't do aqd. Neither you become a witness. If someone says, I want to get married, come and just witness. Say no. Wait until inshallah we finish the Ihram. Wait. And no relationship and none of these things is allowed in Hajj. None of these things. Even looking with desire, even touching with desire is not allowed. Maybe you may hold the hand of your wife to cross the street. And you must do that because there it's not, America. Driving there is different. So you have to be very, very careful when you cross the street. Very careful. Very careful. So you may hold, or during the Tawaf, during the Sa'i, but without any feelings or desire. Stay away from these things. Number 12, beautifying yourself in any shape or form. Whether it is material, to put something, or remove something. Don't do that. No jewelry. You don't wear rings unless aqiq. Aqiq is an exception. This ring, aqiq al-yamani, is mustahab to wear it all the time, especially in the prayers when you pray. In the right hand, not the left one. When you wear it in the right. For men and women, it is mustahab to wear the aqiq in the prayers. Only this one is the exemption. You may wear it during the ihram, but not any other type of, gems or rings. And you may wear your watch if it is not for attraction, if you need it to know the time. But you cannot bring the watch and use it as an ornament or zina. So it depends on your niyyah. What is your niyyah? If your niyyah is that you are wearing it not for zina, just to keep track of the time, then it is okay. But if you are wearing it to keep track of the time and to beautify yourself, then you should put this aside. And for sisters, don't take your jewelry with you. There is no wedding party there, and you don't need it there. Leave all the jewelry at home, everything, leave it here. You don't need to take them really. Stay away. I know it's difficult, but 3 weeks, jewelry free. Don't wear any gold, any jewelry with you. And then do not use kuhul. Khanum haya aziz. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I know some of them, it's difficult for them to use the kuhul or eyeliner. But stay away from it. Inshallah, you will get thawab and credit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes?
For the purpose of having the du'as and also for security, can we have a cell phone or iPhone?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You can carry the cell phone with you in your belt. Actually, I carry you. They're going to give us cell phone. And also take your own cell phone from here. Especially if you have iPhone 5, take it with you. Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to use, these applications there, really free in the hotel. They have Wi-Fi, so you can call free. You can use Tango and Viber, so you don't have to pay, money. And of course, internet. Then number 13, extracting teeth or taking blood out of the body. During the state of ihram, don't take blood. Don't cause yourself to bleed. Neither extract your tooth during the state of ihram. Yes, sister. It's okay. Contact lenses, okay. Glasses that you wear for medical reason is okay, but not for beautification. Not for beautification. But no sunglass. Unless the exception is that your eyes are really hurting. Hurting, you can't see. Some people, they are very sensitive to the sun ray. Very, very sensitive. They can't even open their eyes. This is for medical reason. This is considered medication. But not for beautification. This is the difference. And then, hunting is, as we said, in the haram, except fishing. If you have time, go fishing, inshallah. Yeah. So these are the things that are haram. We must remember them, read them in the book, rehearse them. One of the common, now if you ask me, Sayyid, which one of these are common mistakes that the Hujjaj do? Number one is a very common mistake. Because once you go to the hotel, or the bathroom, let's say, and you are wearing the ihram, automatically you're going to look at yourself into the mirror. Now if you do that deliberately, it becomes haram. But if you do that by accident, by mistake, it's not haram. But you should remove your eyes. Don't say, now that I looked by mistake, let me keep for 2 minutes looking. Don't do that. Remove your eyes. Yeah. And this is a very common mistake, because when we go in Mecca, you see the lobby, the elevator, you go into your room, the bathroom, it's all covered with mirrors. So be very careful. In some places they cover the mirrors with newspapers and something like that. Again, number 3 is also common with men. They cover by mistake, they put their hand on their head or their face. Neither one should be done. Don't cover your hand, don't cover your face or your head, neither with your hand nor with any other object. And another common mistake, guess what? Saying Bukhuda, Wallahan Bukhuda, the qasam, the oath is very, 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 very common. Very common. Some people, they cannot stop that. Yes. No, you are not allowed. This is part of beautification. So once you take the shower, actually not once you take the shower, once you begin the niyyah in Masjid al-Shajara, you cannot comb your hair. No, 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 no. Neither with hand nor with any object. Yeah, you can't. Just leave it like that. Cool. It's cool. Yeah, yeah. Now, my friends, any questions regarding these things? Yes.
Regarding number 7, in order to prevent any kind of a negative thought process
Yeah.
automatically comes to your mind, to replace them just like
Yeah.
maybe say La ilaha illallah or
Yes.
what do you do?
The best thing, my friends, the best a'mal that we do during the state of Ihram, especially from the way, on the way from Medina to Mecca, because this is about 5 or 7 hours journey. Some people sleep, alhamdulillah. If you can sleep, then enjoy your sleep. But some people, they can't sleep, and I hear some chatting and some gossiping. The best thing is to do dhikr, to stay, either read Quran, or if the lights are off, usually they turn the lights off. The driver says, this is mandatory, so he can see his way. Use the, if you have your iPhone with you, bring it with you, and try to hear some of the du'as or the Quran with your iPhone. And, or do tasbih. This is the best thing. The best thing is to keep yourself busy. And then remember, after that, next week, inshallah, I'm going to tell you about the real journey in Hajj, which is when we go to Arafat. But let me now touch upon that. So we're going to stay in Mecca how many days between Umrah and Hajj? Almost 6 days. It could be 6 to 8 days usually, depending on the time we arrive in Mecca and the time we leave, which is the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. The 8th of Dhul Hijjah, in the evening, we leave Mecca. Again, we take the shower of Ihram. But what Ihram is this time? What type of Ihram? Ahsant. Ihram Hajj Tamattu'. No more Umrah. Umrah is done. 6 days ago is done. So now everything you say, you have to say Hajj. Remember. In the first part, Umrah. Now Hajj and Hajj. Forget about Umrah. No more Umrah. So we take the shower in the hotel. We get dressed in the hotel. We go to Masjid al-Haram. Inside Masjid al-Haram, we do the Niyyah. أحرم لحج التمتع قربة الله تعالى. This time for Hajj. And then we take off from Masjid al-Haram to Arafat. A journey which should, in normal circumstances, it should take only half an hour. But because that night is very, very crowded, and you see all the buses are leaving the city of Mecca, thousands of buses. Thousands of buses are leaving the city of Mecca going to Arafat. So it would be very crowded. We have to be patient. It might takes us 2 to 3 hours to get to Arafat. We arrive into our camp. Arafat is a tent camp divided into sections. It's a desert, and the eraser, can I have this? Yeah, it's a desert, and then we have a camp there. So we go into our camp. The camp is made of tents, several tents, and we stay. It is required to stay in Arafat on the 9th day. The 9th day. On the 9th day, but we leave on the 8th in the evening. But it is required to stay in Arafat from noon to sunset. This is what is required. Noon to sunset on the 9th day. But we must go one night before to prepare ourselves. To prepare ourselves to find the camp, the tent, the location. They don't take us on the 9th. It's very dangerous to go on the 9th. You might miss the standing of Arafat. And the essence of Hajj, Al-Hajj Arafah, the Prophet says. The real Hajj is when you stand in Arafat. Everything else is complementary. Arafat, the day of Arafat, is the essence. of Hajj. So we stay from noon to sunset in the tent. At sunset, we're going to leave Arafat. فَإِذَا أَفَضْتُمْ, the Quran says in Surah Al-Baqarah, فَإِذَا أَفَضْتُمْ, when you leave Arafat, فَإِذَا أَفَضْتُمْ مِنْ عَرَفَاتٍ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ. Again, remember your lords in Mash'ar al-Haram. Mash'ar al-Haram is what, my friends? Is Muzdalifah. Muzdalifa. Another desert. So Mecca is here. Mecca is here. We leave Mecca, we go to Arafat. From Arafat we come by bus, by a shuttle to Muzdalifa, another desert, and here is Mina. So we are going to spend 3 days in 3 deserts. On the 8th of the Hijjah, in the evening, we're going to leave Mecca, going to Arafat. We stay the 9th in Arafat. On the 9th in the evening, we're going to leave Arafat to Muzdalifa. I'm making it very easy and simple for you. There are lots of other, things, but I'm not going to touch upon them. So you don't get confused. I do my best to make the Hajj and the lessons of Hajj easy and accessible, not complicated. I stay away from complication. So on the 9th, when we finish after sunset, we are not going to leave immediately. Why? We used to do that long time ago. As soon as Maghrib is done, we go from here to here, 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers from here to here. And sometimes we used to walk. When you walk, you reach faster than riding because of the traffic. Nowadays, they don't allow us. New rules and regulations by the government there, not by us, by the government. They say we take you by shuttle to minimize the traffic, so you have to stay. Maybe we're going to leave at 10 p.m., maybe 12 midnight, maybe 1 a.m. We don't know. Whenever the shuttle comes, they put us, in the order, and then they say when the shuttle comes, they come and they tell us, leave now. Go to Muzdalifa. So we're going to take, when they take us by shuttle, it takes 15 minutes only. Only 15 minutes from here to there. So we reach Muzdalifa. Muzdalifa is big fun. Why? Because there is no more tent, no more camp. You sleep on the floor. This is real Hajj, real business. Real slavery to Allah. In Arafat, we had a tent, we had food there, bathrooms, inside your camp. You may go and take a shower, use the bathroom. Some tents are air conditioned, some of them are, there is air conditioning. In Muzdalifa, it's completely different. This is real desert. You don't have a tent. You don't have a tent. You sleep on the floor.
Sleeping bag?
Yes, you may carry your sleeping bag with you from Arafat, but they're going to tell you that if you carry it with you from Arafat, you must bring it to Mina. But here we have a problem. You cannot take it from Muzdalifa to Mina. They don't allow you. The police, they don't allow you. So they encourage you to leave your sleeping bag in Arafat. They tell you leave it in Arafat. Unless you buy your own one and you use it in Muzdalifa and you leave it in Muzdalifa. Because the police, there are several checkpoints between Muzdalifa and Arafat. They're going to confiscate the sleeping bag from you. They say your luggage should be very little, very small, this size. More than this size, they take it away from you. Because they don't want people to trample on it, for safety and security. They take it away from you. So here in Muzdalifa, it's a real desert. We sleep on the floor. So be prepared for that. Actually, sisters, I think they took them last year, sisters, before men, or they came with men?
No. They went, they did like a sorority
Yeah, emergency standing, and then they went to Mina. Yes, for sisters, some of you who would like to stay there, an emergency, اضطراري standing or mabit, you may do, and then they take you earlier to Mina. But other sisters, they decided to stay with us, stay the whole night. So we sleep the night in Muzdalifa. Then at sunrise of what day? Remember what day now? On the 10th, Ahsant, which is the day of what? Eid. Day of Eid al-Qurban, Eid al-Adha. We move from Muzdalifa to Mina, inshallah. We walk 2 hours. Prepare yourself. Run on the treadmill now. Run every day 2 hours on the treadmill to prepare your muscles, your legs for this journey, inshallah. So we're going to go to Mina on the 10th, and tomorrow I'm going to tell you what we're going to do in Mina. And after Mina, when we come back to Mecca, we have to do Tawaf and Sa'i and Tawaf and Nisa. And I'm going to tell you in Mina, we do 3 main things in Mina. So, inshallah, Saturday from 3 to 5. We change the time. From 3 to 5 on Saturday, inshallah. And Saturday also there is Carmageddon on the 405. Remember, because they're going to shut part of the 405 on Saturday and Sunday. So those of you who are coming from other places, you have to find your way, inshallah, around the 405. It's Carmageddon on Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to have the lesson here, inshallah, from 3 to 5 p.m. Now we would leave some time for questions and answers. Yes.